Hi, so I've got my dishes in behind this. I just wanted to show you how this candle is burning. It's quite interesting that it's made this funny sculptural thing go on here. A bit of wax is going to fall down, but it was really standing up. I wish I could get it. See how it's like weird? It's weird. Each candle burns differently. Yeah, so this one, the one before it sort of burnt straight down very cleanly, and the one before that did all these bits. It's fascinating how they're different. They're all the same candle, they just burn differently. And so I've had a red one, a white one, and these are beeswax mixed with candle wax. So they've each burnt differently. Each of these ones have burnt differently. The normal ones burnt the same as each other, but these ones are very interesting. They burn differently. I don't really know what the conditions are, but they're a beautiful candle and just lovely. They just all burn differently. It's yeah. And so I've been using candles for a few days, and I found out my stepmom has died, and so yeah, it's been a very upsetting day. I went to the Anglican church and I bawled my eyes out pretty much the whole time because I'd only just found out. And stayed back for cake and coffee, which I don't ordinarily eat at all. I don't feel the best, but I mean, it is night time, it's bedtime really, and I haven't been able to keep warm, so I think I better go to bed soon. And yeah, and I just think about how much I wanted a mother when I was, 3. My mother had left me at 5 months. I was with my dad, and I was a community baby, but I really wanted a mum. So, and when this one turned up, I felt myself pretty special and pretty lucky, and wasn't always good. A lot of times it wasn't good. In fact, it was, horrible in some ways, but, we live and people apologise and they change their ways, and so it ends up being a tragedy when they die, and so this is going to be a real challenge not to be able to send her a message or an image of something fun like this candle, or when she was a month or so ago, before that, she was sending me text messages almost every day, and she only just slowly stopped doing it, and then I only heard from her a week ago, and then I was sending messages to her, and she wasn't really replying. She didn't reply, and over time she was slowly not replying straight away, and I was sort of not getting back straight away either, I suppose, and it's so sad. That we lose people. So I would just go on burning my candles each night and in the morning as well, just to complement the little lamp. It's not as light as this. This is my caravan. It's such a mess. And it's making it much lighter than what it is. It does that all the time. It's actually quite dim in here, and so yeah, so I just wanted to share that little thing. I don't know how many videos I'm going to get done or what work I'm going to get done. I'm working on learning how or if the High Court, how it works, and if that's the right venue for what I need to do. It could be a federal court matter, so I don't know, it might need to be argued in a federal court, but I felt like the High Court was the right place. I'm just reading to see if it is or not, because it's quite difficult to know exactly what we're doing, and I don't want to upset the court, so I mean, I doubt I can, but they will tell me. They have referred things to the federal court before, so I mean, if it's something that I can't put in the High Court, I think they'll tell me. Yeah, I've written to the Health Minister, the Housing Minister, the Premier of Victoria, the Department of Health, Commonwealth, and the Department of Health, State, Victoria, and ask some pertinent questions. So I might make a video with those in it, because they're not private. I mean, they are to some degree, but because they are the governing body responsible for our well-being under administration, because you do have a section called administrative law. It's just when they're deciding what's going to happen, and I've had that done to me by the stupid court before, but anyway, they're just different aspects of law. I just want to find out what the High Court runs with. It says they do all areas of, all the areas of Australian law, so I just want to make sure all the laws are in the correct, the correct law, so to speak, not so to speak, but it has to be correct. I just want to see what happened with the piece. Oh, that's weird. It fell down like that, and it's just stuck on there now. Bizarre. See what I mean? How it's so interesting how candles all melt differently. That's all from all this bit, and that is from one candle tonight. It's all burnt down. So some of it must have just dripped down and formed that thing, and now it's sort of fallen but stuck on the side. So yeah, it's quite an interesting artwork now. Really, it's interesting. So let's have it this way for now. It looks quite pretty. I really like that. It's very strange. Yeah, so that's just my video for now. I know I'm sharing something private, but it's sort of, we all go through experiences, and yeah, I've had the day at the church. It's the first time an Anglican reverend has asked me why I've got these on my shoulders. I'll show you if I can get it to work. Why I've got this on my jacket. Can you see it? Why I've got those. I've got them on my two shoulders on this cardigan. It's a zip-up cardigan kind of top that we got from my stepmother's favourite shop, Miller's, which is now closed. A lot of the things she loved is disappearing. Like Miller's fashion shop and women's clothing, and Daryl Lee's shops. They were amazing. She used to take me to the Swanston Street shop in Melbourne when I was little and growing up. on the way out to see her parents. I always wondered why I had an extra set of grandparents. Didn't make sense, excuse me, but when I got a bit older I worked it out. Oh, I've got an extra mother, but my natural mother is not an ideal candidate for motherhood, and there's lots of difficulty in that, so I don't know. She isn't a very responsible individual, unfortunately, but yeah, it's difficult. My stepmother didn't have it easy. It's very strange because I can understand why someone who is cruel to a child, for example, who had a background where they were treated terribly as a child. I can see why, or how, I can't see why, because I didn't do that, but I can see how they can end up abusing a child. But what I don't understand is when someone has what I would say is a good upbringing, or both parents are at home, everybody's they've got a house, they've got everything they could possibly need, and they've just had a good life. They've had a secure home and whatever, and yet they can abuse children too. So I just don't understand how my two mothers came from totally different situations, and yet I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. So I'm not going to tell you the stories, I'm not going to tell you any of the backgrounds, I'm not going to defame people, and it's not defamation when it's true, but I'm still not going to, but I just don't understand how people with a really good upbringing can be cruel to children and cruel to, to a point of destructiveness. But I can kind of see how if they were abused pretty badly, how they would do that. Survival, It doesn't justify it. It doesn't make it okay. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not even saying, it's sort of not forgivable either. But what I am saying is just that I just don't get it. I just don't understand people. Why do they victimize other people? And so I've had to do a lot of work this week that I didn't want to do, but people in a situation where you have peoples against peoples and trying to self-determine as a people and trying to do the right thing and be present in a kingdom that is being demolished, and when we're being genocided and white erased and killed off one at a time here and there. They're trying to do it one at a time here and there so that nobody kicks up a fuss or notices. But we had everything, and it's just slowly being taken away from us. And I just feel like, in one way, my stepmother dying recently, or during this week, that she's going to be spared the difficulties facing us. I mean, she's seen a lot of it already. And she was very outspoken and everything. Don't worry, the gas stove behind has no gas in it. I took it out and put it in the cupboard. I don't leave it in the gas cooker. And it's just sitting on the stove. See, that's the oven, and the stove is under that tray. It's just sitting there, it's not loaded. So don't panic. I'm not using it at the moment, and the gas is not in it. It's down in the cupboard. I'm not going to bother showing you, but it's down there in the cupboard down below there. So no, don't worry. Yeah, I don't know what else to say really. I just want to, I don't know, I think I just wanted to share, and if you've had any difficulties like this, you know, there are people around who know what it's like. We don't always talk about it. We might not hear about it, but there are lots of us who do know, and we still kick about trying to do the best we can do, even with no resources. We just do. So I have a dilemma now, because the people who I was paying silver to have my caravan at their place, the caravan park, were lied to me and just didn't stand by their words and don't want to pay for things, for improvements to the garden and things like that. And so they were happy while I was paying for it, but once they realised, oh shit, we have to pay for it, yeah, they were just gonna, they just dropped all the pots down to the caravan where I am, and just, we don't want to pay for that. Of course you don't want to pay. You don't want to pay for the $385 of AUD dollars worth of plants that you just handed over to a drug dealer on your property either. Works that way, doesn't it? And when you said you would pay for the stuff, and now you said you don't want to. And I get that people want paper contracts and all of this stuff, but once people have proven who they are, I don't have to associate with them. And you don't have to, like, if people are going to be like that and break their gentlemen's contracts, you know that they're not worthy of saving in any way, shape or form. And so once I've realised that shit, they are liable for what they do, then we become responsible for ensuring that they do the right thing. So it was wasted money on a garden that I don't really eat the vegetables anyway. I just bought a bunch of punnets of vegetables and planted a few in the ground, but there's no one watering it, so it's not going to be, I mean, I don't know if it's going to water them enough, just the rain. Because the guy next to the garden, I was using his hose to water the garden, and he came out drunk and said, why am I causing trouble? Very strange. And I said, will someone wrap my flag around the handle on my caravan? I shouldn't be touching anything on my caravan or my car. And he said, well, you've touched the hose, you used my hose, like, do you put it back every time, same spot? I'm like, that's not really the same thing, and you gave me permission, but now that you're saying that, I've started to realise you don't want me using it, so don't worry, I won't be using it. And I hadn't used it in a few weeks. So I said, I haven't used it in a few weeks, so I don't know what you want, but what trouble do you think I'm causing? And he just didn't answer, so that's the only answer he gave. So I figured, well, I guess I don't have a hose to water the garden. Some kind of community garden, there's no watering facility there to water the garden. So anything that's planted will just be dead anyway. So, but these people are, it's full of there's a lot of criminals at the caravan park. And while they're not getting into trouble today, they're causing it, and then, like this guy being an alcoholic, just fucking drinking alcohol and then coming and saying nonsense. You just think, fucking hell, these people are just derelict.